Hey, hey, good evening. How is everybody doing? So anyway, hope all is well. It's kind of late here. So if you don't see this tonight, you probably can watch it tomorrow. But I wanted to talk about Alex Murda. And that's his name, right? Alex. His name is not Alec. Why are they calling him? I don't know. Alec. It's Alex, ain't it? It's spelled Alex. Alex. But maybe they just pronounce it Alec. I don't know. And then they call him Alex Murdaugh, like there's a C or a K or somewhere at the end of his name. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird too. But I wanted you guys to hear this before I start talking. I wanted you guys to hear what Nancy Grace's one of her subscribers had wrote about Alec. Because how he says Mags and Paw Paw and Robo and all that stuff, right? So I was at work the other day and I was listening to Nancy Grace and I just started cracking up. I thought this was so funny. But so let me let you guys hear this. Okay. So this is on Nancy Grace. So listen. Hold on. This is from Sally Thompson on Twitter. She wrote it up the best. I cannot even take credit for that with a straight face. Ready? This is Alex Murtaugh speaking. Mags and Paw Paw have been talking to Roro, Stanky Leg, Little Jimmy, and Fathead, who heard about the pill pills from Handsome and Dibble Dabble, who told Bus Bus and M, who threatened to call the Popo on the talkie talkie. I love that phrase. I thought that was so freaking funny. I just started laughing because all that foolishness that he was doing on the stand with Mags and Paw Paw and Roro, I mean, it sounded like some shit out here in the street. It was crazy. So anyway, this is what I wanted to say about him because I wasn't even gonna say anything about this case, but when I saw the just the last couple of months of this case, I mean, it's just been crazy. Sorry. Now listen, okay. So this guy, Alex Murda, and then listen to his last name, Murda. His last name is Murda, right? So maybe he's thinking, he got to live up to that last name. His last name is Murda. What else do you expect him to do but Murda? So anyway, so this is what we got, right? So we got this narcissist man, definitely a narcissist. Okay. Um, I really thought the prosecutor did a good job. Like I was in his corner. I figured that they were going to come with the guilty um, verdict because he was laying it all out. He was telling everybody like, this guy's a thief. He's been doing this for this long, and he's all about his money and his reputation, and his family got this big name, and this and that, and he's lied to everybody. And, who else will come out there on your property and kill your wife and son? Like, you know, it's just crazy. Like, I don't know what Murdaugh was thinking when, he was planning this. And then for him to say, like when he was on the stand, he was like, yeah, because some of that stuff, liars, when they lie, like some of those lies are half truths. They're half truths. So if you listen to him on the stand when he was talking, he was saying that whoever did this, they planned it for a long time and they hated, Paul Murda. They hated him. So I just believe that, that's what he was thinking. That was him. He was talking about himself. And then another thing that he said was, like even the judge said, what did he say? What a tangled web we weave. It's like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? I mean, that's crazy to say. Like, that makes you think about what that means, you know. I mean, that saying's been around forever. And you're not gonna say that unless, you know, you done did some shit. You're into some shit. And some shit didn't happen because of what you've done. So what is it? What a tangled web we weave. So he's not he's when he's talking and when the prosecutor is letting him talk, like he's saying all these little things to you know, and some of them are half truths. They're like half truths. Like he's telling, like he's probably saying stuff that he doesn't even know that he's gonna say. It's just coming out of his mouth, right? So anyway, I just figured that they were gonna come with that guilty verdict because there's no way that you know, your family, you guys live way out in the boondocks and the I mean, you know, on this all this land and stuff and you know, you don't live in the hood, you don't live in a gated community anywhere where somebody really could pull up and do something, you know, do something to you at the spur of a moment. Like who knew she was there? Who knew they were there? Like he called her. She was at the other house, out on the beach. He called her. The sister said, "Hey, she got a phone call from him." He lured her there. That's what he did because he knew that he was going to have to do this to, you know, so people would not look at the financial crimes like he needed some more time with the financial crimes. So he wanted people to feel sorry for him. And then his son had the boat accident, so that was fucking with him. You know, because they're going to sue him. He's trying to hide all his assets. He's like, they're going to take all my money because what they wanted to do was um, take all his properties. These people they mean business. Like these people were not playing with him. They meant business. Okay, so all this shit is unraveling, and just like the prosecutor said, it was like a perfect storm. It was a perfect storm. This dude was lying so much, taking so many Percocets, and I don't believe that you know one person can take 60 Percocets a day. I don't believe that. I mean, that's a whole freaking prescription. That's just no. There's no way he was spending $50,000 a week on no Percocets. Come on, be realistic. And then you would have to think if this guy's talking about he's spending $50,000 a week on Percocets, so you buying them, you saying you're buying them off the street then, right? And a lot of the stuff that's on the street right now is laced with fentanyl. You guys, come on. He would have been overdosed on some fentanyl by now. There's no way. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was, I don't know, a doctor somewhere, a couple of doctors somewhere where he was getting some of these pills from because if he was strictly buying this shit off the street, trust me, he would have came across some fentanyl by now. With all the fentanyl on the street right now, he would have overdosed by now. So some of that stuff, you know, I mean, I don't know who he thought, you know, he was talking to or whatever. Like maybe he thought he was the only one that ever took Percocets, and you know, the people in the courtroom probably didn't understand, you know, Percocets. Percocets are a downer. It's not a upper. It doesn't make you paranoid. You're not fucking paranoid when you're taking Percocets. It's a downer. You're relaxed, you're chilling, you're not worried about no police, you're not worried about somebody coming up trying to do something to you. You are not, you're the coolest person and he said like Percocet gave him energy. Like it gave him energy. So there's no reason for you to be paranoid. You got energy. You don't have that paranoia side like crystal meth or those other drugs that give you so where you're paranoid and you're fidgety and all that. No, Percocet don't do that. So anyway, I don't know who he thought he was talking to, but I just didn't think the jury was gonna buy any of that stuff. So another thing that I wanted to say. I know that this is this. I just couldn't believe that nobody got up and spoke for Maggie and Paul. Nobody got up and spoke for Maggie and Paul. Not even the sister. Like, didn't you guys think that was weird? Like, not even one person got up and spoke for Maggie and Paul. Like, who cared about Maggie and Paul? Like, where are these people? Or do they really believe like he didn't do it? Like this doesn't make it. Or are they scared to get up there on the stand because they think that this family is has been torn apart now. Like, you don't have to be scared. They're not going to do anything to you. Like, I would have got up there and spoke for my sister at least. Or I don't know. Maybe I don't know. From what the sister said on the stand, I mean, I really thought that she knew something wasn't right. She knew something was absolutely not right. And another thing was, while he was in the courtroom, like when they found him guilty, like no crying, no snot, no any of that. Like he didn't have anything. He didn't have any of that. Like what happened to the emotion? No emotion because he knew he did it and he knew that that's what he deserved. And I felt like when the judge was talking to him, I felt like he wanted to say something. Like he wanted to say something, but I don't think he's ever gonna say, "Hey, yeah, I did that," because it's just unthinkable. But shit, people are doing the shit every day. People are killing their kids, killing their parents, killing up the whole house. Like this is happening every day. Like this is becoming something that's normal in our society. And I wasn't surprised when I heard about him shooting his son in the head and his wife too. Like that didn't even surprise me because this is happening and all the time. And it doesn't matter how much money you have, what you look like, what color you are, like it's happening in everybody's community and this is what it is. This is the horrible world we live in. And this story, I feel like this story is gonna like it's getting ready to like it's opening up some doors to some other things that's been going on in their family because of all the people that like all the deaths surrounding their family and what's going on with their like I mean it's crazy. So they really have been getting away with a lot of stuff for a lot of years. And even though, his son Paul, he was out drinking and I don't think he killed that girl on an accident. I think that probably was an accident, but still it happened. That doesn't mean that he was a bad person or whatever. I don't know. But I mean he didn't deserve to get, for his father to shoot him in the head and just kill him like a fucking dog and kill his mother like she wasn't shit either. I mean that is that's horrible. That is all that's just horrible. I can't even imagine. Just like the judge was like, I can't even imagine what you were thinking. But he could imagine that, you know, there's something set him in motion for that to happen. I thought the judge did a good job. Like he was really like his spirit was really calm. He took his time and he said what he needed to say. And I thought he did a great job. Like they all did. They did a great job. I didn't feel like this wasn't about color, it wasn't about religion, it wasn't about um anything else but um you know, putting this man in jail for killing his wife and son. Like I felt like that was what this case was all about. And they did what they had to do. But for him to think that he was smarter than everybody else, and see that's the problem with narcissists is they think that they're smarter than everybody else. And even the lawyer in him, just like Brian Kohlberger, the Idaho killer. Like just because he was, studying law and all this stuff, like, but he wasn't studying like the crime scene, and he wasn't studying like, um, you know, the perfect crime. Like he was stupid. He was fucking stupid. So just because you're practicing law or you're studying law, I mean, either way it goes, there is no perfect crime. There's no perfect crime. And if you do it, you're gonna get caught. I've seen in the last probably like a couple of months where they've solved so many cold cases, and people are going to jail. So it doesn't matter if you do it and you don't get caught, eventually it's going to catch up to you. And it's going to always be in the back of your mind that one day they're going to come knocking on your door. And who wants to live like that? Only a narcissist. Only a narcissist. And I feel like there's something else that's going to go on because they're opening up that case with Stephen Smith, the guy the young man that they found in the middle of the street. And they said that, the Murtaugh name was kind of tied to him too. And then the housekeeper, I feel like that something else is a brewing with this story. Something else is a brewing because I think that they're trying to tie in one of those Murdaughs or that murder, allegedly. So, I just feel like, yeah, that family. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say that family. I want to say Alec Murtaugh. And yeah, I was really happy with the outcome. I was real happy with that outcome today and yesterday. Um, the trial was, 6 weeks long, and I was just like, "Ooh!" I didn't even realize like the O.J. Simpson trial was like 11 months. Like it took 11 months. Like, I couldn't even imagine watching that shit for 11 months. 6 weeks I thought was too long. 6 weeks I thought was way too long. But him on the stand crying and talking about Paw Paw and Mags and Roro and them and Doo Doo and Boo Boo and Cuckoo and it just all just felt like a big lie. So I can't wait until cousin Eddie, that I can't wait until he gets to speak because of what I think that was happening, like that side of the road incident. What I think that was happening is I think that Alec was trying to lure him over there to kill him, cousin Eddie. I think that Alec was trying to lure him over there so he could say, "Oh, tried to shoot me in the head," and then he ends up killing him, and then he's thinking that, "Oh, well, we got the killer." Like he was gonna make up some crazy ass story about he's the killer. It's just a bunch of foolishness. Like I don't know how he thought he was gonna get away with that. And you see how that video came out of Paul's phone? Like, see, and he will intervene. He will. When the devil is a busy man, God will definitely intervene. He didn't know that Paul was shooting that video. He didn't know because him and Mags was standing out there messing with the dog. The dog had ran out. Then he had the chicken in his mouth, and Paul was leaning over at the dog kennel trying to, get the dog to be still so he can look at his tail. He didn't know that he had his phone right there and he had the video on there, or he would have grabbed that phone and he would have took that phone. He didn't know. He didn't know. So when you're doing wrong, it's going to come out in the light. It's gonna come to the light when you're doing wrong. And I just couldn't imagine like you know, killing my own child and killing somebody that I've been married to forever and been with since high school. Like, nobody's above the law. But it's sad that the world that we live in, it has changed. It definitely is a different world. It's not safe to be outside. It's not even safe to be at work. I work in a public place and, all the time I'm on my P's and Q's. Like I'm definitely always checking the doors, looking at people like I never looked at them before. But you just never know when somebody is coming to do harm to you. And it's sad that you could be with a person for so long and you just have no idea that they're planning your murder. It's kind of safe to say, like, it's pretty sad that it's almost safe to just be by yourself because you never know what somebody's thinking. And that's sad. 'Cause nobody wants to be by themselves. It's sad. I'm just glad that this part of the case is over with so we can move on to the 99 next parts because the judge said there's 99 more cases against this dude. So it's gonna be something else to see uh, who else who else is going to jail. Because I'm sure there's some more people that are gonna be going to jail other than this dude. But I'm sure he was the mastermind. Like this dude was the mastermind. And I could see him taking maybe, I don't know, like 20 pills a day, but 60? No way. No freaking way. And was he taking them? Was he popping them or was he snorting them? Like what was he doing with them? Because there's all kind of different ways that you can take those those uh those pills, and they're gonna affect you a little bit different if you're snorting them, popping them, whatever. I mean, how was he taking them? I don't know, but he wasn't spending no $50,000 on no street pharmacy. That's what he wasn't doing. I don't know why he was giving him $50,000 a week, but it wasn't for no street pharmacy. He would have had more than enough pills to go around. He could have bought pills to last. He had enough money to buy pills to last for a whole month. And I think Paul and the maid and everybody else. I think that they kept finding his pills. They kept finding his pills, and so he started keeping them on him. That's what he said. He said he started keeping them in his pocket. And it was crazy how he said, "Yeah, I had a pocket full of pills when I was talking to the police." Yeah, and you didn't seem paranoid either when you was talking to the police. You wasn't paranoid. You wasn't fidgety, fumbling, and doing none of that. You had a pocket full of pills and you was chilled the fuck out, chewing your chew and talking your shit. So he deserved everything that he got. Because what you do in the dark will come to the light. So anyway, I just want to come on and put my 2 cents in. You guys have a good night. Have a blessed night. Make sure you're watching your back when you're outside. Watch your surroundings. You know, stay off your phones. Be looking around. Stay off your phones because the world is a crazy place right now. And make sure you're putting up cameras. Put cameras up at your house. Be safe. Just be safe. Carry you some mace or do something. Get you a weapon. Do something because there's people out here that are out to get us, and you got to protect yourself. You guys have a good night. God bless.